Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Game 1 of the Elite 8 on your screen. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sandwich, here to guide you through tonight's action. We've got more fratricide on your screen. Post University on Post University here. BigSneezy and Adonis meeting up for what is sure to be a barn burner after they remake the match, as it appears someone's lost connection to that match out there. Got Mundayne on board tonight as well, so we'll certainly look to bring you that matchup as it comes online. It does look like it just has, so we will look to bring that on your screens. We've got the bracket for tonight's action. The Mundayne stream, I've not been able to grab the Mundayne stream just yet. It does show that he's live, but the stream has not been loading. He's up against Mount Aloysius tonight, looking to get some revenge for Navy, who's taken down my Mount Aloysius back in week 4. And of course, to move on to the final 4 here in this single elim bracket until you reach top 4. So Mundayne, Adonis, and BigSneezy all fighting for some breathing room. Not everyone gonna be lucky enough to have it. Adonis and Sneezy both look to get back out onto the field, trying to raise the Mundayne stream, man. Of course, we want to bring that matchup to you as well, so that we can see some slightly better news. Obviously, no matter what happens with Adonis and BigSneezy, someone's going out and someone's moving on. Mundayne surely looking poised to move on to the top 4. Comfortable 2-1 victory against Bruton Parker in round 1. Same for Mount Aloysius, took out a different Bruton Parker player. We are still looking to get the Mundayne stream out here. It does say that he's live. We've got some network issue there. I'm not sure if it's on my end or not. Keep working to raise that match. Meanwhile, we're going to start with Ohio State on Ohio State. A lot of matchupception here. Post University versus Post University. And now Ohio State versus Ohio State. They did not have the they had the uniform set up the last time around. Looks like the uniforms got shuffled about here, so we'll have to do some digging, figure out who is who. Looks like we got Adonis on the white this time, BigSneezy on the reds. Run on first down. Adonis able to find some room down the left sideline. Gonna be a foot race, doing his best BigSneezy impression, who's amazed us all season with that grounded attack. This time Adonis doing just that. An impressive run on first down to get out to the 40-yard line. Another run here on first down. Gonna cut it back inside for the short gain of 5. Adonis and BigSneezy, comfortable wins in last round's matchup. Adonis taking down Wayne State 2-1. BigSneezy taking down the North Carolina Wesleyan Bishop Gaming Association in his round 1 matchup as well. Another run here on second down for a 2-yard gain. Still best of 3 tonight. The last best of 3. Everyone will be playing tonight, win or lose, as best of 5s will get started up in the semifinal. Adonis are going to keep moving on in the postseason and going to keep moving on downfield with the first down. Striking distance of the end zone here at the 22-yard line. Going to do some damage with the air. Finds the open slot receiver for the touchdown. Put a lot of pressure on your middle linebacker to spot that immediately. BigSneezy a step late. You saw him get hands on the receiver. It'll be too little too late, and Adonis punches in the opening score. Slot receiver go route, man. That's such a tough route to cover. Speaking of a tough cover, this man BigSneezy on the ground game. Gonna get bottled up. Gonna start at the 21-yard line here on BigSneezy's opening drive. BigSneezy looking to do some damage on the run. Bottled up by his own lineman at the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. Not how he wanted his opening play to go. Gonna get thrown back to the 18-yard line here on second down. More damage on the ground incoming. This time has a window. Able to break loose 3rd and inches for BigSneezy. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. BigSneezy has not been a man all season to shy away after getting stopped 1 time, 2 times, sometimes 3 times on the ground. He'll go all 4 downs on the ground if necessary. Going to stay on the ground here on 3rd down. Spin past 1 for the 1st down and more. Out to midfield. BigSneezy 3 runs, all runs that time to move the chains. They're going to continue to do some damage, this time in the air. Short completion of the receiver just past the line of scrimmage for the 1-yard gain. Going to the running back on 1st or 2nd down rather. Nice little stretch play. Gonna get just short of the 1st down marker. BigSneezy now a lot of leverage to go pass or run. Gonna look to do some damage on the ground. Spin pass 1 to move the chain. Spin pass another to keep it going. Finally brought down at the 12. A man who has been so dangerous with that spin move all semester long. We have seen it since week 1. BigSneezy is such a tough cover on the ground. End around this time, bottled up by Adonis. Going to be 2nd and 10. Adonis bringing the free safety down to get hands on the run play. All hands on deck to stop the run. A huge loss of yardage. 3rd down and 14 from the 16-yard line for BigSneezy here. All hands on deck for Adonis. You see him motioning that safety. Not afraid to go all in with everybody with how Sneezy's been playing this run game. This time going to do some damage through the air. Huge rollback. Able to find a man downfield. Short gain of 3 and it'll be 4th and 10. Field goal is the call for BigSneezy. Gonna settle for 3 here from the 12. Kick is up and it is good. Nice position if you're Adonis here against a man who's been so hard to stop with the ball in his hands with that ground game. Now Adonis gonna look to extend his lead with this kickoff. And opts to keep it. Gonna start here at the 14. Adonis, a man coming in here with the highest positive score differential of any player this entire regular season. Adonis renowned for blowing his opponents out of the water. Highest scoring half for Post University and for any player this season. I believe it was 70-3 back in week 2. Couldn't see if he could score any higher. Made his opponent forfeit at halftime. This is a man who can pile on points in a hurry if you're not careful. But already facing pressure here on this first set of downs. We have 3rd and inches. Gonna move the chains with the run. He's got a blocker. Gonna get him out to the left sidelines. Can anybody catch him? No. Gonna go all the way to the end zone for the touchdown. Oh my goodness. Adonis, you give him 1 block. He takes the whole house. The kick is up. The PAT is good. And just like that, a 14-3 lead. A man who can score. Blink and you'll miss him. Adonis already back on defense following the quick offensive possession. Gonna throw Sneezy down at the 22-yard line. And Sneezy coming into this matchup undefeated record-wise. Adonis not so lucky. Following a forfeit loss, and then I believe, let's see here, a week 6 loss to the UC Patriots, which was a team his fellow post-university Eagle Mundayne was able to best in the regular season. So not a man coming into the postseason unscathed is Adonis, but again, and put up points in a hurry. BigSneezy, meanwhile, looking to remain undefeated to move on to the Final Four. BigSneezy with a chance to take us to the second quarter if he'd like to. 3 seconds on the game clock. Going to call one final play. Clobbered at the line for a loss of 2, and that'll bring about the end of the first quarter. We will double check on Mundayne's matchup later tonight, as I do believe the Game 1 stream is cooked. We'll hopefully have it back for Game 2. Nice little drag route to move the chains and more for BigSneezy. Sneezy undefeated, but again, not the highest score differential. Wasn't blowing opponents out of the water per se. Certainly had lots of comfortable victories. Had the highest points scored, by a post-university Eagle in any single game. He did drop an 80 bomb. Let me see if I can't find the proper week here. I believe it was in week 1. You know how BigSneezy looking to keep it moving here in week 2 of the playoffs. So we had Sneezy in week 3 drop an 80-point bomb. Adonis not too far behind with a couple of, we mentioned, 70 points and a half. Had a 79-14 win as well. Open man right down the middle. Spin to get past 1. The cavalry on its way shortly after. Gonna bring him down to the 22. Give Sneezy a lot of options on first down. Going to do some damage on the run. He has a block. Able to sneak in down that right sideline for the touchdown. BigSneezy and Adonis looking to throw up a barn burner at the moment. 14-10. Just about a minute in to the second quarter. Both players scoring in bunches. A lot of short possessions so far here in this contest. Both teams operating like a hot knife through butter. Adonis did force the field goal on Sneezy's first possession, but neither player has come up empty on offense so far. Both players getting to operate just how they want. Adonis, first down not going quite his way. Going to bring about 2nd and 11. Adonis damage through the air. Short reception. Had one man to beat. Couldn't do so, and he's brought down for 3rd and inches. Now it's Adonis looking to chew clock. A man uncovered. Huge tackle for loss, and that'll be 4th down. A chance for the first stop of the game today. Adonis not going to make it easy on BigSneezy. Going to keep the offense out on the field on 4th down. Adonis needs to draw up a perfect picture here, or BigSneezy going to be knocking on the door of his narrow 4-point lead. A wealth of adjustments coming out from Adonis here to look to take us to the 2-minute warning. We saw a lot of chew clock come out of Adonis there. I believe it was after first down. Perhaps looking to nurse this narrow 4-point lead. Perhaps understanding just how quick the pace of the game is going. Maybe trying to sneak in an extra possession, as he won't be starting with the football in the second quarter. He knows it'll be BigSneezy's football, not what you want to see on 4th down. Delay of game. BigSneezy's going to happily take it for 4th and 7. A much tougher conversion here for Adonis if he wants to stay out on the field. Adonis running out of time here. Going to get the football out. As a man with a step going to find him out to the left sideline. Brought down at the 44. Perfect placement. A man who had just barely a step on the coverage. Step is all you need. With that picture perfect placement on the football from Adonis. Going to keep the offense out here. Chew clock still going. So we went from 2 minutes to 1 minute and 23. A pair of moves from Adonis. Still brought down short of the 1st down marker. You'll wonder if he'll keep chew clock on. Neither player throwing out timeouts. Chew clock staying on. We're under 1 minute here. Or Adonis. BigSneezy not calling any timeouts. Daring Adonis to either score immediately or run out of game clock quickly. As I believe if Adonis, yeah, he had to turn that off. I think chew clock would have brought him to inside 10 seconds. Would have been his last play of the game. Instead, he has a chance to operate inside of 30 seconds left and all 3 timeouts remaining. Gonna step into his throw and BigSneezy able to pick it off. Looking to go the length of the field. Got a couple linemen to beat. Able to get past one. Faster than another. And BigSneezy rolling down the right sideline. No one can catch that man. Brought down at the 1 yard line. BigSneezy not looking to leave any time on Adonis's game clock. Looking to score with 000s if he can help it. 1st and goal from the 1. Gonna make it pretty easy. Sneak his way into the end zone. Or the touchdown. BigSneezy taking momentum back. Narrow 3-point lead, but he'll be starting with the football in the second half. The kick is up and it is good. And the table, how the turntables. BigSneezy flipping the script here on offense. 15 seconds remaining for Adonis to put up anything on the scoreboard. It's now a lot of pressure on Adonis to respond on offense here with 15 seconds and 3 timeouts. It's certainly possible. Going to be far from easy for Adonis to leave with some points here. Need huge conversions. We've seen him grab a couple in this game already. Wealth of adjustments going to bring us down to 6 seconds. First play needs to be perfect. Man downfield has a blocker. Going to run right into him. And that'll be the first time out. Going to flip the field in a play. This is a man who has been scoring 1-play touchdowns aplenty so far throughout the regular season. Going to continue that energy here. 5 seconds remaining. Needs to air it out and quickly. Has a man downfield. Pass is bobbled. Time going to be a factor. This next play almost assuredly going to be the last one of the half. 2 seconds remaining. Adonis going to take a safe field goal. Just got to line it up here right to tie us up at 17. Adonis perhaps waiting for BigSneezy to ice the kicker with these timeouts. Able to line it up perfectly. The kick is away and it is good. All tied up at 17 as we approach halftime. A lot of pressure on the Adonis defense here. Coming back out onto the field. So now it'll be his turn to open the half on the defensive side of the football. Seen Adonis come away with a win on defense once already. Not quite putting up 0, but forcing Sneezy to get away with a field goal. Adonis will be happy if he can repeat that success here, or perhaps come up with a takeaway of his own. This time BigSneezy looking to take us all the way zeros on that play clock as the clock was stopped. First down play going to go nowhere. 2nd and 15. Empty backfield, but don't be surprised if this is a short reception, a screen pass, something to get a man out in space and running. Short reception. Adonis staying locked in. Did not go diving in either direction and able to come up with the chip block that time. Heads up play from Adonis in a game where it's so hard to make tackles one-on-one. Adonis bringing out the do-it-yourself kit for 3rd and 7. Gonna force the rollout from BigSneezy. Finally rolling out of the pocket entirely. Gonna be brought down 2 yards short of the first down marker. BigSneezy unafraid. Gonna keep the offense out on the field. Hasn't quite been contained on offense. Only really slowed down. He's been gaining a couple yards here and there. And the first time out coming out for Adonis. Not happy with the defense he was coming out with. Gonna take a timeout to get out in the proper formation here for what will be a critical 4th down. A lot of time in the pocket for Sneezy. Has a man on the drag. Gonna be a foot race between him and the free safety. Adonis versus Sneezy. You give up the first down, but again, Adonis making plays in the open field one-on-one. A spot where it's so dangerous to get contact with your man on defense. Adonis with two huge user stops that time. Regardless, 2 huge plays on the sticks for Adonis. Still got to come up with a complete stop on defense. Going to be a 4-yard gain for BigSneezy on the ground.
Okay, ready? 325.
There goes the screen pass for BigSneezy. Juke move going to go nowhere. We have 3rd and 1. Once again, Adonis needs more magic on defense. Keep this Sneezy offense at bay. Quick moves from the running back out of the backfield. Going to be enough to move the chains. BigSneezy, nothing stylish. A lot of short chunk plays. This time able to chunk a first down. Going to go all the way to the end zone. Oh my goodness, how's that for a chunk play? BigSneezy from the red zone to the end zone. The PAT is up and it is good. Longest possession in some time for both of these players. 2 minutes off the game clock. BigSneezy with a lead. Adonis now couldn't come up with a stop on defense. A man who certainly has no trouble scoring. Gonna need to keep up with BigSneezy's pace here. Motioning the receiver. Maybe a smoke screen to disguise the run play. BigSneezy's still all over it. Gonna be 2nd and 10. First down. There's that slot receiver, the rocket catch. Still forced the jumping reception, which made it easier for Sneezy to bobble the ball out of the receiver's hands, and we'll have 3rd down. Not enough time under center. A man uncovered, and it'll be 4th and 18 from the 6-yard line. A sack going to put a lot of pressure on Adonis to convert here on 4th and long. The offense going to stay out on the field. Would be a critical mistake if he can't convert out here. But it gives Sneezy great field goal position for a 2-1 lead. Adonis, a wealth of adjustments under center. Needs this to be perfect. He's got blockers. Just needs to find a man downfield. Tough coverage. Players all over the receiver that time. And now BigSneezy with a chance. Not going to be the dagger, but certainly going to be a backbreaker here in the third quarter. Spinning right back into the defense. Going to be second down. Largest challenge for Adonis' defense so far. So we'll stay here and then we'll double check on the Mundayne show. Unfortunately, losing game one from Aloysius, but stream should be back up and running. BigSneezy back up and running downfield out to the 1 yard line. Third and goal from the 1. Adonis needs some break on defense now more than ever. Loaded backfield for BigSneezy. And the defense coming up with a TFL. 4th and goal now from the 2. Far from picture perfect, but it's going to be enough to force BigSneezy to bring out the field goal unit. Turn it into a 2-possession game, why don't you? As the kick is up and the kick is good. We'll double check on the Mundayne show now. Hopefully his match is up and running, and it does look like it is. He's currently getting into game 2 against Mount Aloysius. Mundayne losing game 1 24-7. Dream scenario. We have another post-university fratricide match next game, next week. That'll only happen. Mundayne's able to pull out the 2-1 comeback. Meanwhile, BigSneezy piling on the pain. Another hit onto the quarterback. 2nd and 19. Adonis has struggled here in the start of this second half, approaching the end of the third quarter. Need to see him break out here for a score, and quickly. He's got a man open, tight window. Adonis able to thread the needle. Breaking out of the shadow of his own end zone, now on the 27-yard line. A wealth of drag routes. He's got a blocker, a spin move to get past another before being brought down at the 42-yard line. Nice pair of moves out of Adonis with the yards after the catch. Continuing to chunk his way downfield. He spots a man open. Sneezy saw it, but it'll be too little too late. And Adonis going to flip the field. Out to the 30-yard line. Looked like Sneezy spotted it, but with the slower linebacker, not going to get out there in time. Adonis able to take advantage. We will double check. Mundayne currently in the pause shield for his matchup. See what happens here. Adonis certainly want to keep this game close, but if Sneezy is able to come up with a stop, it may be all she wrote on game 1. Adonis' first stop going to need a lifeline on offense here. 2nd and 10 from the 30. Short reception. Going to turn into an 8-yard gain. Still very makeable down and distance. Almost assuredly 4th down territory for Adonis if he can't convert here on 3rd and 2. Thinking of a quick score. Going to move the chains with the drag route. Going to get out to the 5-yard line. Knocking on heaven's door for Adonis here. Going to keep the offense in the hurry up. Technically has a man advantage on the left side of the field, but it's definitely close. I wonder if Adonis will look to work with those numbers. Certainly was eyeing it. Not enough time before he's brought down back to the 13. Saw him looking in that direction. No time for the pieces on the chessboard to develop. It's going to get sent back. Loss of 8. Short reception. A little bit easier with that expanded field. More grass for Sneezy to cover. Adonis just a bit further than where he started on 1st and goal. Now at the 2-yard line. A lot of options here on 3rd and goal once more. Certainly 4th down territory for him as well. Sending the house at the screen pass. The route doesn't develop. Adonis certainly not happy about that one. Look at the coach suggestions. Bring out the field goal unit. Might as well wave the white flag. Adonis throwing up a prayer. His defense going to have to come up huge now. As Sneezy, a 7-point lead and the football here in the 4th quarter. As we'll stay with the rest of this game 1, as it's just about wrapping up before moving on to Mundayne's game 2. A lot of pressure on Adonis now. If there wasn't any before, feel like a broken record here. Adonis still searching for a pure stop on defense. He's forced a couple of field goals. But BigSneezy is the only one with a pure stop, coming up with an interception in the 1st half. Sneezy on the offense. Juke move past the 1 out to the 19. End around and nobody's home. Easy juke moves for BigSneezy. 1-on-1 against the CPU. BigSneezy making it look simple as he moves the chains, taking us to the 2-minute warning. And it's timeout time for Adonis. Only problem is he's only got 1 left. Certainly not impossible, but far from easy for Adonis here. Needs a stop on 1st and 10, and he's going to come up with it. 2nd down from the 37. A loss of 1, but a win is a win for the Adonis defense here. Sneezy gonna take every second off of this game clock as he can. Gonna look to scramble upfield. Moving the chains could be huge. Gonna fall just short of that on the scramble and the slide. And that might be GG's. A pause coming out of Adonis. He may be seeing the white flag waved here. Almost had me writing down the final score. Adonis gonna stay out onto the field. I think BigSneezy sees the writing on the wall. This looks like QB Neal formation, but could just be a running play out of a loaded backfield. No, it's a QB sneak to move the chains. The last timeout not coming out for Adonis. 27-20 is going to be your final score. An unstoppable force meaning an immovable object in game 1. BigSneezy coming out on top. A narrow victory. It's just how he's liked it all semester long. Especially as we've approached later and later in the semester. The game's getting closer and closer. We'll be back with their game 2. We got another game 2 going up on your screen right now.
He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of...
Don't tell me as soon as we join the Mundayne stream it goes down. Okay, we're good to go, kind of.
Let's see what they can dial up on 2nd down.
Got a mean case of network issues here.
Okay, I'm going to throw the football now. I can get back in shotgun. Let's forget the running game stuff. We'll play a little pitch and catch and see how good that secondary is.
Out of the gun, the inside handoff, looking for a crease. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks.
Listen, I know that's not a huge gain, but those run plays add up. They make you tackle the back every single play.
Mounties Esports, Mount Aloysius already up 1-0 in this series.
To the air, it's
Did
back.
not catch it as it was off stream.
Got his man on the right. Now with a great
Mundayne
opportunity
already
as
fighting
they
from
pick up
behind
the
here in the
down.
first
They've got
quarter.
it at the 40. Third down, a lot of times it
Far
comes
from
down to
over
not
for a man who's
necessarily
played
who's the
so
most
many
open,
close games
who
throughout
you
this
trust
regular
the most.
season.
No, it's not about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmys.
A couple
and
of
the
last
Joes.
second
My guys
go ahead
better than you, and I get you
touchdowns,
matched
couple
up
of
out wide.
overtime
And I
game
know I
winners,
trust
hands on the
you.
receiver right as he makes contact with the football. Make it a tough catch and it's knocked loose. Incomplete.
No gain on first down after the incompletion. Now 2nd and 10 from the 40. From the gun,
Mundayne, a man who has
hit him on
done
the inside.
so well with wide open blades of grass. He's struggled as the field shrinks, but right now struggling on offense, 3rd and 6.
This will be the
As he
7th
looks to
play
keep
of
the offense
drive,
out on
and
the
they need
field.
to
I
get
certainly
the
wouldn't say it's 4th down territory. But we've seen a lot of games start with 4 down offenses right at the top.
Third down, he drops to throw.
Mundayne not going to have to worry about that reality. The quick catch to the tight end going to move the chains.
Move the sticks with the first down.
Hard work pays off, guys. These offenses work so hard week in, week out, working on those critical down distances, 3rd downs. And having that conversion this early in the game, that's got to feel good for this offense.
Looking to pass inside the red zone.
A lot of time under center.
And he's into the end zone.
Able to line him up and knock him down for the touchdown.
And what a nice start for this offense. The throw game getting working, getting the touchdown pass. This quarterback getting a little bit of confidence. This passing game getting in a rhythm.
PAT is up and it is good.
And the extra point is good. And we're all square as he
Mundayne
sets
losing
to
game
get
1
away.
24-7. Like to see him get some points on the board here early in game
Ball
2.
squirts through the end zone. That'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. The Tide offense rolls onto the field. After standing on the sideline and watching that long touchdown drive, they really need to put something together to give their
Oh,
defense.
Mundayne sold out on the run to the left.
You play a lot of plays, you get worn out. You
Not sure how intentional it was.
sideline, get some oxygen.
The Mounties Esports able to line up a run right up the middle in response.
Football, 'cause it's a two-pronged problem.
Mundayne certainly not disguising pre-snap who he's controlling from a user perspective.
An opportunity to get their win.
Well, usually a lot of the best players, you'll see him operating from one of those linebacker positions. Patience from the Mounties. Patience from the Mundayne stream as we are back, kind of.
The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion, but they lost yardage.
Mount Aloysius coming up with the catch. I'm not sure. I guess it looks like a little column A and column B. We're seeing Mundayne experiencing connection issues, and apparently the Mounties are as well.
Getting that sucker on the ground in the open field.
You hope it's not affecting anybody's mental on either side. You know how frustrating that can be, especially if you're giving up big plays because you've got the lag working against you. That time the lag kind of working in Mundayne's favor. Going to bring about 3rd and 5.
They've changed ends of the field, now facing
You
3rd
doubt
down as they go back
4th down
to work.
territory this early on in the possession, but Mundayne got to take it one down at a time.
It's Milrow.
Oh, throw it right at the defender. Why don't you? Mundayne now knocking on the door of the lead here following the interception. Gonna get a head start at the 29-yard line.
I think they baited the QB and tried to fit that one in over the middle of the field.
That wasn't even a user reception. Mundayne just letting the scheme doing his work for him.
Back there in the pocket, and they just
Threw it right into the linebacker's hands.
this football in, not so fast. They come away with the pick.
Going up top on first down.
Mundayne on first down. Loads of time under center. Dangerous football.
And I thought he had
Could have been intercepted.
through his fingers.
Looked like his best option,
Situation
at least for a moment.
take shots. The
window nearly shut just as fast as it opened there. Mundayne happy to be with an incompletion, and now 3rd and 11. Mundayne in far field goal range. I'd say makeable, depending on how the wind is here today.
You could tell the defense, everyone was right where they're supposed to be, nowhere to run.
Of course, got to at least get a first down or stay out on this yardage here. TFL could throw him out of field goal range. Man downfield, underneath the defense for the first down. Heads up play from Mundayne. We've talked about it. These little comeback routes. Take control of the receiver, bring him back ahead of the defense for the first down conversion. Stopped once again on first down. Mundayne looking at a tough nut to crack here. You see him flummoxed out on defense. Second down. Able to shed one. Still brought back a second straight TFL for the Mounties Esports defense. And now 3rd and 19 from the 20. Mundayne going to go boomer bust here. Not really a chance to move the chains. Starting at the 20-yard line, especially with another TFL out to the 26. You go from touchdown to field goal. Very makeable with no wind out here. Just got to line it up and knock him down. Adonis is in the other game. Mundayne's going to do just that here. So Mundayne far from perfect. You see him kicking himself there, but this game far from over. Saw him come up with a stop on defense. It's going to need more of that magic. Almost assuredly starting with the ball in the 3rd quarter, although we didn't see the first kickoff of the game. Just basing it off of the score and time when we did make the swap. Still, no reason to let your defense lapse here. Run on first down, able to break loose and move the chains.
Do that again and you'll be right here beside me for the rest of the game. You got to go out, you got to call your plays, and I hope this coaching staff isn't going to be afraid to throw at this drive.
They'll snap it on first down from the 35. He's looking to throw it.
Time under center for the Mounties. I believe we've got some illegal contact for Mundayne. You see it in the reaction. He knows it's him. There goes the illegal contact. Added's version of the holding penalty. Not going to be first down at the spot of the foul. Much more forgiving. Going to be 1st and 10 with a couple of extra yards on top here for the Mounties. Oh, he shakes one, and now he's got a wealth of time under center. The pocket collapsing, and now it's a foot race. A dangerous football overthrew the receiver. Mundayne was stunned. Insanity. Add that to the Mundayne almost highlight reel. Alongside like 8 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. I think that's his 2nd almost sack of the season. Lucky it didn't go wrong in the other direction. The ball was overthrown with the quarterback making the toss on the move. It'll be 2nd down after a chaotic first. Quick catch and move the chains.
That's a real good looking throw. And I know at Alabama recently they've had a lot of different quarterbacks, and they've also had a lot of different guys calling plays. But one thing that's never seemed to waver is how explosive the offense has been, and the big reason is because of the efficient play they've had consistently year in, year out at the quarterback position as well. They recruited extremely well. They coach these guys up. And this is a guy who loves football, loves the X's and O's, and you're seeing it translate onto the field right now.
2-minute timeout. This game moving at a much slower pace than we saw in Adonis and Sneezy's game 1. No chew clock coming out from either side. You wonder when the timeouts are going to become a factor. May become a factor here, although it does look like he was forced out of bounds. That is the case. The clock going to be stopped following that gain on first down.
He'll come out throwing on first down.
Going to do some damage through the air.
Quarterback's a little more on target there. Maybe they hook up.
Another one for the almost highlight reel for Mundayne. Looked like user had hands on the football, but it was only able to bobble the pass. And it'll be second down.
Back to throw on second down. And
Ball way overthrown, and that'll be 3rd and 10.
couldn't hook up. Now facing a
You ask me, Mounties Esports right now, just outside of field goal range. Certainly makeable, but near impossible on this Heisman slider.
looking for the end zone.
A dangerous man. He has a step on his receiver for the touchdown. No timeouts, no problem.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead.
Mundayne cannot believe it.
And the extra point is good. And it's
How could you? Everyone looked locked up.
a 70.
Even that go route was incredibly close.
They put the points on the board with that 37-yard touchdown pass.
But instead, it'll be Mundayne now looking to respond at the end of this first half.
Bounds through the end zone, and it'll be a touchback.
Just as we wait, I want to double check
We're ready to get another
Adonis and Sneezy
offense. Guys, that last
approaching the start of the second quarter. So their game two just a bit further behind this game two here. Mundayne on first down, able to get past one before being brought down
Yeah, and I think the
past
defense just gotta be
the
more aggressive
first.
at the point of attack. Get some push up front. They need to be the best running team in this game to win.
They'll snap it from the 36. They've got a first down. Wants to throw. It's back.
Time under center. Short pass to the back, out of the backfield.
The big throw is good enough to give them a first down.
Another new set of downs for Mundayne. Still no timeouts coming out from either side.
Gives it to him early so he can go to work upfield and get the first down.
Seen plenty of halves where timeouts, especially in the first half.
Going on first down.
Neither team
Big tight end.
wants to be the first one to call them, and they end up not being a factor.
Make the tackle at the 36, but they're in
Mundayne's still doing a really good job of chunking his way downfield. Timeouts have not been necessary here.
on first.
Almost assuredly going to put pressure
Quarterback
on the Mounties to be the one to call the timeout first for a chance to respond.
fires deep.
There's going to be a dangerous pass, double coverage.
Swatted down by
Mundayne happy to get away with that one. The rocket catch not going to be a possibility with that second defender covering underneath.
Tighter areas, hard enough to
Happy to get away with an incompletion that time. Mundayne going to stay out on the field.
coverage, and he misses, and probably a good miss because that could have been worse.
This time, quick pass to the tight end. 3rd and 3 now for Mundayne.
There, finding the tight end. And what's so beautiful about that is while they didn't get the first, they were able to pick up enough yards now to make the third down.
Mundayne doesn't need to quite go boom, just need 3 yards to avoid going bust. Possession catch right at the 6-yard line.
line. It's first and goal.
You've watched Mundayne gameplay. The red zone is where you're crossing your fingers, where you're holding your breath. We've seen it in this match. We've seen it throughout the semester. He's struggled as the field has shrunk here in the red zone and in these first and goal scenarios.
Those downs that matter the most. If something's not open quick,
Want to see him convert here, especially as he looks keen to run out the game clock. 3 timeouts, but the way he's operating pre-snap here
Gun looking to
may not end up being a factor.
he's got it.
Not going to be a problem.
They'll use a timeout right before
Going to be just short of the touchdown. 2nd and goal from the 1. Mundayne needs to find a moneymaker here on 2nd and goal from the 1.
some points on the board before the break. Trying to pound it in.
Gonna bring it to the running back. The ground game able to come up with the touchdown. Mundayne sneaking out of this first half with a narrow lead. As he looks to battle back down 0-1, not up 0-1. So we had the scoreboard incorrect there, but the PAT picture perfect for Mundayne.
So here comes the kickoff after the touchdown. right before the half is to give up a big return. Fair catch called for and made.
3 timeouts in 7 seconds can go deceptively far in this game. A touchdown, not out of the realm of possibility, but I don't believe we've seen the Mounties go the length of the field in a single play so far in this one. Would be a perfect time to bring out a play that could do just that for the Mounties. 4th and goal, it's a foot race, but coverage all over, and Mundayne able to come up with the takeaway. Pick 6 on the table, but he's got to be perfect. No choice but to go all the way with triple zeros on the clock. Mundayne gonna do just that. Mundayne, the length of the field. The Mounties trying to sneak out with a score. Mundayne gonna respond with a huge stop on defense. Gonna open up a 10-point lead as we approach halftime. No excuse. Mundayne gonna produce on the defensive side of the football. And that'll be huge as you see who's starting with the football here.
That ball skips through the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20.
None other than Mundayne. A 10-point lead, already a 2-possession game. He's already grabbed a couple of stops on defense, both sides of the football. Working synergistically here. We'll stick with Mundayne here for just a little bit. Another score. Couldn't beat the free safety. As I do want to take a second just to make sure the BigSneezy and Adonis show isn't getting out of hand. It's 14-0 and they're still approaching halftime. We will stick with Mundayne here, making a catch just under the defender to flip the field. Look at that, the Mounties using number 11. They went all out for the interception, came up empty. And Mundayne coming up huge that time on offense.
Looking to go up top on first down.
Loads of time under center. Mundayne just needs to pick his poison. Gonna go short, but the pass is bobbled. Far from over. Kudos to Mundayne for not trying to overcomplicate it with all that time he had under center. Clobbered for 3rd and 6. You don't need anything crazy if you're Mundayne. Turnovers are going to be the bane of your existence. You can play the field goal game with how the pace of this matchup has been going. Dangerous ball. You saw the timing, that red bar. Mundayne overthrowing it on the timing. And out comes the field goal unit. Could be just what the doctor ordered here. Mundayne can convert here with the chip shot. Kick is up and the kick is good. Huge weight off of Mundayne's shoulders now. An incredibly comfortable lead as he looks to force a game 3.
On the move from inside his 5. He'll step out of bounds at the 16 and leave his offense with a...
As we will take just a moment, we'll leave the Mundayne show for just a little bit, as I do believe the Adonis show getting just a little bit closer. And they are approaching halftime, so this game also almost over. So we do unfortunately need to play everyone's favorite game, who is on what team. I believe we do have Adonis on Ohio State, as he did take the loss, so he was able to stick with Ohio. BigSneezy, of course, taking the win, forced off to Alabama. Timeouts becoming a factor late in this second half, or first half rather. Catch made underneath the defense. Was the football knocked loose? Oh my goodness. Was for a second. Adonis able to maintain possession. Now 3rd and 9. I don't want to say necessarily Adonis is fumbling here at the 1 yard line. He's got a 1 touchdown game in the driver's seat to make it a multi-possession game here. As long as you don't throw a turnover, it take 10 seconds on this possession, or on this play rather, here on 3rd down. You don't need to go bust. You just can't go boom. And 1 second and no timeouts. That'll be halftime. We'll find out which way the possession arrow goes. It's going to be a return. So it's not the end of the world for Adonis. Had a chance to pile on a whole lot of points. He would have been in a very similar position as Mundayne is right now in his matchup. Just play the field goal game. And because of how short the matchups are, 5-minute quarters, it does make it incredibly hard to get back up into these games. Adonis under center going to opt for the run. Similar to Mundayne, we'll stick with Adonis. If he's able to come up with a score, we'll swap back for the remainder of Mundayne's game 2, although it may be done and dusted based on the score line out there. It'll take us right to the end of the play clock or a short gain of 2. Another run here on 3rd down. Going to power through the defense to move the chains. A strong 1st down from the blockage to the power run game there. Adonis has been not afraid to chew that game clock. Comes out once again here. Second and 10 at his own 23, and we're almost halfway through the 3rd quarter already. It's the power of that chew clock in college football 25 because of just how long these play clocks are. Adonis, a wealth of time under center and perfect placement out to the drag. Gonna reset the down and distance for Adonis. Patience, the name of the game for Adonis here. Walking a fine line. Any interception from Sneezy could turn the game on its head just as it did in game 1. Able to dodge Sneezy there as well. Wise moves out of the backfield for Adonis. He spot the man uncovered. Watch him dive out of the edge of your screen there. Just as we approach 2nd down here. And Adonis brought down at the 46. He hasn't moved very far, but blink and you'll miss it. We're at the end of the 3rd quarter, ladies and gentlemen. 48 seconds left. And Adonis, as long as he doesn't come away with a turnover, he'll still have the football at the start of the 4th. Want to see him come up with a 1st down. Going to do just what the doctor ordered. Moving the chains en route to the final quarter of play here in game 2. Game 2 that Adonis is down in, by the way. Speaking of scoreboards being wrong. We'll take a brief stop. Want to catch the Mundayne final score if we can help it. Although just as we say that, Adonis, because of that chew clock play, has jumped Mundayne on the game clock. Mundayne still in the 3rd quarter. Adonis, because of this chew clock magic, this ground and pound running offense, slow, methodical, short gains, chewing the game clock the entire way. Despite starting after Mundayne, this game just that much closer to being finished than our other matchup here. And Adonis still hasn't ripped off the one big running play. It's been a lot of just inching his way downfield, yard after yard. Doesn't look like he's been searching for it either, however. He can't find it on the ground. Been very conservative through the air. Short gains, quick passes. Nothing that could potentially give up the game-altering interception. A little too careful under center that time, and that'll be delay of game. Time under center. Oh my goodness, I thought Sneezy jumped to the route. Oh my, did you see that? Through the defender's hands. Christmas in April for Adonis to keep the football in his team's possession here on 3rd and 2. Possession catch to keep the chains moving. BigSneezy centimeters away from a takeaway. A jumped route, a jumped short route that could have gone all the way for 6. But instead, BigSneezy still staring down the barrel of this methodical offense. Has not been afraid to go 1 mile per hour as long as it's 1 mile an hour forward. 2nd and 4 on what's been 1 possession for Adonis here. Timeouts finally forced out by BigSneezy. Again, an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object. BigSneezy undefeated. Adonis blowing out everyone in his path. The highest score differential by any player here in the college football 25 regular season in the ECAC. And after all that, nearly 2 entire quarters of gameplay, Adonis a field goal to go up 10. Just deflated all the air out of that matchup here, ladies and gentlemen. Took control of the game. If you're just joining us, we've got post-university eagle-on-eagle action here. BigSneezy and Adonis fighting back. BigSneezy looking to fight back in a major way here with a kickoff return in the final minute of the 4th quarter. It's a foot race and nobody's home but the BigSneezy for the touchdown. Field goal unit coming out. BigSneezy with signs of life here at the end of the contest. The kick is up and it is good. Adonis maybe relaxing a little bit in his chair following the field goal. BigSneezy telling that man to wake up. The onside kick gonna be recovered by Adonis, and now 1 timeout remaining for Sneezy. Maybe just a little bit of a jolt on the way to a game 2 loss for BigSneezy. Something to wake up his side of the football for this game 3 that's impending here. Now comes the last time out. It's not victory formation season. It's whatever you have just under that, because this game is done and dusted, ladies and gentlemen. Another close contest, but this time it'll go Adonis's way. (17-14) your final score. Both players just in a staring contest. Neither one can get that much distance from the other. Game 1, 27-20. Game 2, 17-14. Incredibly close.
Unloads to the wideout. And it's taken away by the
Speaking of incredibly close, welcome back to the Mundayne Show. His lead not over, but it's cutting it a little close, 27-21, and you just watched Mundayne give up an interception there on your screen as we jump into this game.
You got to be so careful with your decision making, and that was not a good one by the quarterback. They now turn it over, and they better hope their defense defense can play
Mundayne,
well
a couple of
to
clutch
change
plays
the
on
game.
defense. Gonna need another one here at the fourth quarter. Instead, the tight end
Hit the gas.
looking to
Wide open
turn on the
ahead.
Jets.
Huge
Getting all the way out to the
play.
22.
Change the complexion of a game, and he's got it at the 22-yard line.
Well, how about the offense setting that play up? We've seen earlier in the game a couple shorter throws. They're just
Very rare for a tight end to get that much speed out in the open field. Usually they're larger, slower targets. But the Mounties able to find a huge opening for the big fella to flip the field out to the 22.
First and 10.
Run play on first down. Dream scenario if you're Mundayne. Honestly, if you give up a touchdown, it's not perfect. You're going to be down a score. You're not tied. But you'll give yourself more time to respond with a field goal or what have you. Right now, a lot of pressure on your red zone defense to be perfect. Because if you give up a touchdown with zeros on the clock, that could be all she wrote. And that's certainly on the table here. Mundayne operating with 2 timeouts and the 2-minute warning in his favor.
Mark it off as a 6-yard gain down.
2nd and 4, and out comes another timeout. Mundayne looking to keep the 2-minute warning in his back pocket.
Trying to get their act together.
Again, a lot of pressure on his defense to come up early here because he won't be saving any of these timeouts. If he gives up a touchdown, he's going to be able to save one. A huge response for the Mounties to break away with the lead late in this one. Now a narrow 1-point lead for the Mounties. Mundayne going to have the 2-minute timeout and 1 extra timeout in his back pocket to go the length of the field. He needs points in any way, shape, or form. Do or die time for Mundayne. The difference between going out at top 8 and moving on to top 4, potentially top 2, potentially winning it all. Major inflection point for this man on your screen here. A man who has had so many clutch victories, wins in OT, another chance for a go-ahead score here late in this one. Gonna need more late game magic from Mundayne. He served it up on a silver platter throughout the regular season. Gonna need more of it here with 2 minutes left to play. Needs perfection. Dream scenario, he's serving up a field goal with triple zeros on the game clock. So far, serving up a scramble on first down. Out comes the 2-minute warning. You want to leave as little time on the game clock as possible. The Mounties have all 3 timeouts at their disposal. You score too early, you flip the script, and now it's the Mounties' turn for a go-ahead field goal. Heads up play from Mundayne. Roll out of the pocket. You force the middle linebacker to make an impact on the play. Leaves just enough of a window for the catch to the tight end. Offense going to keep moving for Mundayne here. Again, a man who's had no problem operating in these large open fields. He's not going to have to worry about coming up with a score in the red zone. Just got to get within field goal range. Another quick reception. Close, but not close enough. Still going to be hauled in for the first down.
And you're seeing why this guy is on the field during 2-minute situations. He can catch the football and make things happen.
Mundayne surveying the field. He wants to dare the Mounties to come away with these timeouts. He's not putting his arms on his shoulder. My man is not aura farming. He's locking in right now. He needs to be perfect, and every passing second here could force the Mounties to take a timeout. Now locking in here inside 10 seconds on the play clock. Gonna be a run on first down, slither through the gap to 2nd and 1. Firmly in field goal range as long as we don't throw out an interception. Won't be surprised if we see a couple more runs here. Again, Mundayne, he's in really good position here to end with a game-winning field goal. Already in field goal range, and the Mounties paralyzed on the sidelines. Still no timeouts from them. Mundayne absolutely content to call the timeout at 0 seconds if he needs to. Man is downfield. And if no one's going to call the timeout, Mundayne's going to do it at 1 second and bring us to game 3. He's at the 18-yard line, a chip shot, far from 100% field goal range-wise, but it would be absurd if he missed one from here. Another run here on first down, looking to get that much closer out to the 8-yard line. Bounty's still frozen, no timeouts coming from them. They're daring Mundayne to make a mistake here. Out comes the final timeout. 12 seconds remaining here on first and goal.
And I feel like this guy too is just an explosive player.
25-yarder, all but guaranteed. Still got to lean in your chair to line it up perfectly. Kick is up, and the kick is good. Mundayne now, just can't give up a one-play touchdown. No BigSneezy experience. Don't be giving up a kickoff. Touchdown, not what you want to see here. Mounty's not even going to let that be a possibility. Touchback. Want to save all 10 of these final seconds. 10 seconds and 3 timeouts. You only need a field goal. Man 3 prevent. That's risky. A lot of windows for the offense to throw underneath the coverage in man 3 prevent. Mounty's not too much time to wait for those sorts of routes to develop. We'll see what they work with here. Gonna air it out, throw it right at the defense. Game, set, match. Mundayne gonna move on to game 3. And that'll be all she wrote for game 2. Huge comeback for Mundayne. The ice in his veins, we mentioned it time and time again. He's done it throughout this ECAC season. Ruby Neal out once more. 1 second remaining. This game basically done. Gonna force the offense to come out here.
And the quarterback will just drop to a knee.
And that'll do it, ladies and gentlemen. Mundayne moving on to game 3. It's game 3 season here, ladies and gentlemen. It's the playoffs. Everybody wants it. Every game means so much more. Speaking of meaning so much more, we move on to this post-university on post-university bloodbath. Fratricide between Adonis and BigSneezy, 2 players who have had such fantastic regular seasons. Only one more gonna move on to top 4. So we get the corrected scoreboard out here. Adonis getting the first quarter started with a score on his first possession of offense. BigSneezy unfazed. Still doing that damage on the ground. Another run gonna cut it right up the gut. Had one man to beat before being brought down just past the line of scrimmage. Incredibly short gain on first down. Far from the end of the world for the BigSneezy experience. BigSneezy, that's what we're talking about, that run game. Time and time again. The well is never dry for BigSneezy. You stop him 3 times, he'll run on 4th. He continues to march upfield. Sneezy now, the play action. Nobody's open. Just turn it into a running play with your quarterback, Jalen Milroe. Such a great candidate for this run-heavy offense that BigSneezy likes to operate with here. Great target in a scramble. Of course, a scrambling QB makes it very easy to find These creases in the defense. Just out there, Sneezy sliding out of the pocket, rolling with this drag route, making the reception that much easier. First down for Sneezy, and Adonis sniffs out the screen pass. Screen pass is so difficult to get everything lined up perfectly. It gets blown up that time. Now as the pocket gets blown up, BigSneezy looking to make something out of nothing. Goes for the slide. Instead, the football's knocked loose. BigSneezy able to make the recovery. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line. Dangerous football. You saw 17 had their hands on it. For Adonis. Instead, it'll be 7-0. And Adonis stuck playing defense still. Here at the 4-yard line. Run on the ground. It's a foot race. Gonna cut back inside. Could have been the difference maker there as he's brought down at the 1. 4th and goal. Not very much grass left for Adonis to defend. Between Sneezy and the touchdown here. Loaded backfield. Surely the run play. The QB sneak is cut off. 1 yard of grass is all Adonis needs. Able to come up with the stop. And now a chance to make it a multi-possession game. Adonis not happy about that one. They're going to challenge the play. Challenge goes nowhere. Not quite as cinematic as the challenges you see in NBA 2K. The Madden one isn't quite as cinematic either, but gotta keep it moving. A chance for a safety. Hands on the quarterback. Adonis able to air it out before giving up the safety. You wonder what he's going to call. Is he going to make the read? We think pressure's coming a second time. Or are we going to see a bait and switch? No, we're throwing all hands on deck at the quarterback. Covering up the short routes too. Adonis bottled up in his own end zone right now. Just can't break out. You wonder if the bait and switch is coming or if we're going to see pressure again. Pressure once more and 4th down from the 1 yard line. Almost assuredly special teams coming out. BigSneezy coming up with stops. The old-fashioned way. Turnover on downs, forcing the punt. Tough offensive possession for Adonis. No other way to slice that one, folks. Mundayne did start his matchup. We certainly will make the swap over to that too. Want to catch the end of this first half here if we can help it though. Sneezy looking to escape Milrow out of the pocket. Such a slippery matchup. Slide before the fumble is even a possibility for the first down. Another run, this time with a running back, the old-fashioned way. Decent chunk play on the ground, out to the 24-yard line here for BigSneezy. They're going to get a second chance at the end zone on what's been a much smoother offensive possession here. At 1st and 10 from the 10. Basically 1st and goal. Now 2nd and 13 from the 13. Not quite how you want it. No chance to hit 1st and goal by being just short because of where that first down marker's located. The football's knocked loose. A second straight defensive stop. The football knocked out of the offensive hands. And Adonis now going to get another shot. A little more breathing room now at the 8-yard line. You wonder if Sneezy's still going to throw that frenetic pressure with more space for Adonis to backpedal. No time for the pressure to get there with the run. Surely going to be enough breathing room for Adonis to operate here. Another run brought down just past the line of scrimmage for a 2-yard gain. So stick with Adonis for this possession before making the move back to the Mundayne show, as his game 3 rather, is also heating up. 3rd and 2 now. This game becoming a defensive slog. Game 1 was a hot knife through butter. Right now, it's a bit of a rock throwing contest. Finally able to break past the line of scrimmage and move the chains. I'm under center, gonna do some damage through the air. Step into the pocket and throw it right to the defense. BigSneezy now down the left sideline. Nobody's home. Touchdown, BigSneezy. Can't get anything going on offense. Let the defense score for you. Pick 6 to tie up this game. BigSneezy one-upping Adonis, who came up with 2 straight takeaways, a turnover on downs, and then a fumble recovery. Sneezy one-upping him with the pick 6. We're a man of our word here on the post-university stream. Even though the game is close, equally close, 0-0 here is Mundayne in game 3 up against the Mounties. So we will make sure to get the sound correct, as I did not do that. Thankfully, Mundayne, methodical in his play selection, going to give us some time here.
Gonna get the ball back. Go get some water and celebrate.
As I am.
On 4th down,
No, I am
looking to
correct.
pass.
The Mounties are on
Takes a
Alabama.
shot as he throws, and it never had a chance.
Mundayne
Incomplete.
certainly locked in on who's who.
Coaches talk about it all the
Able to
time.
get hands on the
Be
quarterback.
aggressive.
Not a TFL.
They're aggressive on that first drive. They go for it on 4th down. No dice. Now you put your
Forget a
defense
TFL.
on
It's a
the
turnover
field.
on
I like
downs.
the
I'm not locked in,
aggressiveness.
ladies and
Now
gentlemen.
you gotta
Mundayne,
deal with some of the consequences.
if I'm on one end of the locked in spectrum, Mundayne on the polar opposite there, forcing the stop on defense. Able to get the football, I believe, back in his hands. We didn't catch the kickoff, unfortunately. We don't know which way the possession arrow goes. But that's a huge stop, possession arrow-wise, if that was the opening drive and that was the opening possession of the contest. Wide running route out to the right side of the field. The spin move going to come up with a couple of extra yards.
He runs with such physicality and with the toughness. Do you think Woody Hayes, the great Ohio State coach, would have loved to have this guy in his backfield? His running style just marries so well with that. When you think about Ohio State and their tradition at running back, right?
And they ain't content to take us to the end of the half. That's a man who knows he's in the driver's seat.
To play in the shoe.
These low scoring games, that possession arrow, who gets the ball to start the 3rd? Who gets the ball to start the 1st? Did they score? That possession battle matters so much more in these low scoring contests.
The receivers often will run their route based on a side adjustment.
And go to the drag. Get past the 1. Brought down 1 yard short
Well, it's a nice job
of
by
the
tight
1st.
end there. He's patient. He fights his way through all the traffic in the middle of the field, running that drag route, making it an easy completion for the quarterback.
Offense gets set for 2nd down. He's looking to throw.
Mundayne, time under center. Mounties sold out for the interception. A lot of green grass for Mundayne to run through here, out to the 15-yard line.
He's got it all the way down
effort by the wide receiver.
Dangerous play there by the Mounties. Could have given up a score instead. Gonna have to battle back in pretty tough field position here. Mundayne. First and 10 from the 15. Wide route. Spin to get past one to move the chains. Instead, it'll be second and inches.
He's a little bit short. They might want to bring out the sticks and measure, but it looks as if he'll be just short of the first down. Operating in the red zone here on second down. Trying to impose their will with the run. Relentless, tough
And
running.
they ain't able to power that one through. Red zone demons got to be exercised here. Again, that's the one weak point of the Mundayne offense. If you had to ask me, operating in the red zone has been a point of contention.
But I got to make sure I get to that stick, get to the first down mark.
Want to see him put the toys away here. Lock in this one early. Running play on first and goal, spinning to win into the end zone. He's feeling it, yes sir. It's been ironically his toughest spot all season on the field.
And I really like the play call.
I've seen him struggle in this series. So you love to see him here in game 3, locking in the first score of the contest out in first and goal territory.
Very poised in that play calling, and it showed up with the touchdown.
Looking for blockers.
Hesitation from the Mounties on that kickoff return. Gonna let Mundayne's defense pin him back at the 11.
All right, guys, so here's the offense back on the field again. Looking downfield, it's Milrow.
Mundayne eyeing the pass. Looked like the go route was open, at least had a step. No time for that to develop, though. Hands on the quarterback for second and 10. And that man's wide open. The zone coverage blown by the defense. The CPUs giving up the touchdown.
And once he got loose, it was all over.
Only looked like one free safety out there. Did not see number 4 break free uncovered by his man.
So he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone. That was a nice
A
job.
critical error. Mundayne, a middle linebacker's not going to be in a position to spot that sort of breakdown. Wrong place, wrong time from a user perspective for Mundayne. And we're all tied up at 7 apiece.
Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field.
After that methodical play on Mundayne, chugging downfield, the Mounties respond in an instant.
Great job taking apart the defense, Jesse,
That
on that last
corner route, danger,
That was a
almost
masterclass.
broken up. Instead, it'll be broken loose. Incomplete. Oh, no, never mind. Excuse me. I thought it was bobbled loose. The pass was hauled in.
These days, Ohio State defined by explosive pass plays.
Thought for sure it was knocked down. That one gonna be knocked down. The drag route double covered.
When you look at Ohio State in the past several years, going back 10 years probably, you can pick so many big names of guys who have been superstars, not only at the college level, but also at the NFL level.
On play on second down, good for a 5-yard gain.
I know the passing game sells and the passing game is exciting, but it's not exciting to get 5 or 6 yards a pop on the ground, but it will be very successful.
To the air, it's Howard.
I'm under center to throw, the pocket collapsing around him. The diving catch to move the chains out to the 32-yard line.
Guys that are willing to put their body on the line, and he does it right here, man. Just lays out. That ball's coming in. You can see it from several yards out, making that play, laying out.
Play on first and 10. In comes the secondary.
Great concentration.
Gonna bring him down just short of the marker.
And a nice run there.
Second and 1 for Mundayne here. The 2-minute timeout. Mundayne can take us there if he chooses.
These kind of gains, they will just add up, wear the defense down, get first downs, and ultimately get some points.
Mundayne gonna keep the football. Brought it in. First and goal from the 5. Right back in prime scoring position. Out comes the 2-minute timeout.
Slot receiver, guys, is putting the ball out in front. The location of the throw is what
Mundayne in striking distance of another touchdown here.
The Buckeyes have it with a 1st and goal. They move the tight end all over. They'll run it on 1st
Run
and
from
goal.
1st and goal, no touchdown, but a 2-yard gain.
Down to the 3, and the defense is reeling.
Out comes true clock, just like we saw at the end of game 2. Dare the Mounties to come away with a timeout. Not, they're going to pile on the pain. Touchdown,
Again to get it in.
and a lot of time off the game clock. 3rd and goal from the 1.
All the way down to the 1-yard line.
Well, he gets tackled down at the 1-yard line. So
I'm positioned to take out as
offensively, he's
much
confident
game
enough on
time as you
3rd
can
down to hand
here.
it off again.
Yeah, and I'm
Won't be
taking
surprised if
both these
Mundayne will
downs.
take us
I'm
to
coming down
2,
with it. I'm
1,
running the football, trying to get this in the
almost
end zone. Now we got a
0
yard
seconds
to
on the
go.
play clock
I
here.
gotta be physical.
Instead, he'll call it early.
On the ground on 3rd and
Going to be
goal.
brought down, a loss
They bring him
of
down,
1.
he's gonna lose a yard on that one.
Out comes the first time out. Bring back the normal tempo. Record scratch freeze frame.
Second quarter might not be
Might be
gamble
wondering
time,
how
but
Mundayne
inside
got
the
here.
3, Palmer, I've got the green light. I'm going for this.
I am too, and you're essentially running a
4th
two-point
and
play here,
goal.
right? You've
Mundayne
got
going to need
play
ice in his
practice
veins.
all
This
week
was the
long.
red
That's
zone
the
struggles
play
we've been
style
talking
right
about.
And as
They're
they
going to go
come
through
to
the air,
line of
continue to
scrimmage
pile the
here,
pain
you
on the
can
ground.
take the lead with a field goal, but a touchdown here gives you extra cushion.
Mundayne going boomer bust here on 4th and goal. No field goal in his back pocket if he comes up empty here.
Dropping back, it's
Going to
Howard.
look to do some damage. The drag route's uncovered for the touchdown.
Touchdown, Ohio State.
Yes, sir. Do your
I just love
dance.
the
Mundayne
execution by
feeling
the
it,
offense.
rolling
Late in that
rolling into
half,
halftime.
You want to take the lead. You want to get that momentum on your side, and they do it. They finish it with the passing game. I'll tell you what, keep that passing game up. You can keep this
Gonna
lead, keep
leave
momentum,
the
keep
Mounties
putting
with
up
38 seconds left
On the extra point.
on this
Got the
first
late
half game
touchdown
clock.
on the board, now about to kick it away and hoping the defense can keep them from answering.
As long as Mundayne doesn't give up a second one-play touchdown, he's in prime position. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some cover 4, some cover 3, get an extra man, an extra safety out there, so that way one safety doesn't separate you between a stop and a touchdown, or even a tackle following a big gain and a touchdown.
There's no time to be concerned. If we're a little bit
Hands
down,
on the
let's-
quarterback, a flag on the play as well. You hope it's for the defense. We're going to find out here in just a little bit. Defensive pass interference.
Did the official see something to bring it back?
They're going to decline that play because you got a reception that went that much further than the penalty.
The offense comes
And
back out
Mundayne
with a new
not
set
out of
of
harm's
downs
way
after
yet here at
penalty.
the end of the first half.
Wide receiver shows motion. He wants to start this drive with a pass.
A lot of time under center. Milrow going to break out. The QB spy is right there. Mundayne is ready.
Short of that first down. There's a timeout called as this offense tries to find a way to draw.
One more timeout for the Mounties in 24 seconds here. Wouldn't be surprised if they take a couple of pot shots at the end zone and keep that last timeout in their back pocket to call it for a last-second field goal. You wonder what sort of desperation they're operating with here. Mundayne covering the drag route. That's a dangerous ball, and it's knocked loose.
Through his fingers in.
Somehow not intercepted. Gonna have to settle for the incompletion.
What a play by the defender there, guys.
Amazed that it hit the
offense
receiver's
is taking
hands
a
at
shot.
all
If that
before being
defender
knocked
was
out.
just one step behind, that would have been a touchdown, but the hit forces the incompletion.
Dangerous play
Let's see what they've dialed up
for
on
Mundayne here. All's well that ends well for Mundayne, but still 19 seconds left between him and halftime. Pass once again is broken up by Mundayne. Clutch stop on defense. Gonna force the Mounties into a boomer bust scenario here as they keep the offense out on the field.
Look, they're third and long in field goal range. They go zone
The
coverage,
Mounties
so everybody's
playing
back
with
in
fire
action.
here on fourth down.
They're able to break
They've
on
been
the
so
ball,
close.
force the
Two
incompletion.
passes that would have been, oh no, two passes that would have been touchdowns. Broken up. The Mundayne stream almost getting broken up. Got to lock in here. The man's uncovered. You got to get hands on him. Instead, it's a touchdown. Oh no.
Yeah, and the passing game comes
Dared him to go boom or bust.
An extra point away from tying this football game.
The Mounties boom into the end zone to tie up the contest.
This passing game can continue to heat up. Look out in the second half.
Wonder if that pause for some lacking connection had something to do with it. Yeah, Mundayne's feeling it. Mundayne's a better man than me. That's it. I'd be heated after that one. No chance for any pre-snap adjustment or user defense or what have you pre-snap because of that lag there. And instead of a chance of a 2-possession lead, Mundayne primed to go into halftime with a tie score. We'll stick with Mundayne here into halftime before swapping back to the Adonis and Sneezy show. Run on first down. Not going to see a timeout. Mundayne not feeling himself. Following the rough plays at the end of the first half. And the Sneezy and Adonis show, per usual, just so fast. Blink and you miss it. We're somehow already in the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter, all tied up. 14 apiece. 3 timeouts to everybody's name. The clock management show going to be on full display as Sneezy looks to take the lead here. Wealth of time under center, dangerous pass, and it's knocked out of the air. Field goal unit coming out. This is a far one for BigSneezy. It's also not one that's going to afford him much security if Adonis can come all the way and score a touchdown of his own. A field goal's blocked! Adonis able to come up with possession, a huge stop on defense. First blocked field goal we've seen all semester. Couldn't have come at a better time for Adonis. Adonis with 3 minutes and a dream. 6 timeouts between both teams here to come up with a stop. This time the football's knocked loose again. Hurry up offense for 2nd and 22 following the fumble recovery by Adonis and the Georgia Bulldogs. Wealth of time under center here, able to find the receiver streaking out past the first down marker, able to turn the corner on the defense. Nobody's catching that man. Touchdown, Adonis. From field goal block to point after field goal attempt. For Adonis, going from defense to offense, coast to coast for that man, as he's opened up a 7-point lead late in this one. Huge momentum shift for Adonis, coming up with a huge stop on defense, field goal block, and immediately striking back with a touchdown. Now Adonis in the driver's seat. A man who's blown out many an opponent. Absurd score margins throughout the regular season. Looking to add another impressive victory to his belt, taking down the only undefeated player here in the ECAC College Football 25 regular season and postseason. Adonis looking to go giant slaying here on 3rd and 6. BigSneezy gonna need a lifeline to keep his offense out on the field. Certainly gonna be 4th down territory as we approach the 2-minute warning. BigSneezy almost assuredly, you want to keep that extra time out in your back pocket. Let the 2-minute warning work for you. Pass out to the drag. Gonna get just past the first down marker. And let that 2-minute warning work for you. An extra timeout in BigSneezy's back pocket with the 2-minute warning. First down run, able to get past the line of scrimmage for a 5-yard gain. even with his season on the line. BigSneezy, we're not changing up anything on offense. Still running it down the offense or the defense's throat here. 3rd and 4. First Sneezy. His season on the line, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Another run play, another short catch to get a man in motion for the first down. Easy on 1st and 10, run right up the middle. Good coverage for the 6-yard gain. A minute left in this one. Both players still in the staring contest of calling timeouts. BigSneezy looking content to head into OT with 000s on the game clock. Not looking to overcomplicate things here with a minute left to go. Adonis, much of the same on his end. He hasn't called any timeouts to try to get this football back. BigSneezy looking to roll out. Had a chance at the end zone with that extra blocker. Instead, he's going to slide down. Doesn't want to risk it. Seen Jalen Milroe cough up that football a couple times following some contact. BigSneezy maybe looking to punch this in the old-fashioned way out of the backfield. Ball to the running back. He's got a crease. Going to take it all the way to the 1-yard line. BigSneezy he's looking primed to leave some time on the game clock following this touchdown. If he can pick it up here on 2nd and goal. He can't do so. Instead, 3rd and goal. Easy keeping that last time out in his pocket. Break in case of emergencies. I don't think he meant to leave 2 clock on, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be honest. 4th and goal from the 1, and out comes the last time out. BigSneezy's semester is on the line. An undefeated season can come crashing down here in the Elite 8 of the playoffs by none other than his fellow post-university Eagle. Adonis with a chance to go king-slaying here. 4th and goal from the 1. He's come up with a stop at this exact position earlier on in the contest. It's going to need more of this magic on defense. Instead, BigSneezy able to punch in the touchdown as the clock strikes midnight for the offense. Ice in Sneezy's veins as the PAT will tie up this one with 9 seconds left in the game. No field goal block that time, and we are all tied up. We take a brief moment. We want to double check on the Mundayne show. It's looking pretty comfortable. Up a touchdown, 21-14 with a minute left to go in the 3rd quarter. What can Adonis do? He doesn't need a touchdown, just any sort of points at the end of this contest, and he can sneak out of OT with a huge W in his back pocket. 9 seconds, 75 yards, and BigSneezy's man 3 prevent defense going to be in his way. That ball, a little too late on the timing, and it's underthrown. Now 5 seconds left. We need to go the length of the field here. A man downfield, double coverage, and locked up. We have OT to move on to top 4. A ticket to the semifinals awaits on the other side of overtime for Adonis and BigSneezy. An unstoppable force has met the immovable object. One of them have to give way tonight. And Adonis going to be the one to win the coin toss. Or Sneezy, rather, going to win the coin toss. Start Adonis out on defense. Immediately a timeout called by Adonis. Not happy with what he came out with on defense. A bit harder to make these audible adjustments on defense, on the defensive side of the football. So kudos to Adonis to make the call. Second and 1. BigSneezy, unlimited game clock. He's able to play his game, not worried about the score. Now comes that short pass play. Adonis is all over it. Looked like it'll be enough for the first down conversion. Certainly was close. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 15. Huge rollout from BigSneezy. Jalen Milroe able to make Adonis missed. One-on-one user defense on user offense. BigSneezy coming out on top. And these two have gone mano-a-mano, user offense on user defender throughout the contest. We've seen Adonis come up with a couple of wins, but that time BigSneezy going right at that man for the touchdown. A stop here for Sneezy will book his ticket into the semifinal, into the Final Four. What does Adonis have? A run on first down to the right sideline for a 5-yard gain. No time limits in OT. You see that game clock is gone, only that play clock. Another run to the right sideline. We have 3rd and 7. Don't think we need to say it, but obviously this is 4 down territory for Adonis, and he can't come up with 7 here. Adonis, he's got time under center. He's eyeing the end zone. The ball is knocked out of his hands, nearly picked off by the defense. Now Adonis, ice in his veins. Are the diamonds real? Are the diamonds fake? We got to find out right now. 4th and 7. It's do or die time for Adonis. He needs a first down conversion. How about a touchdown for Adonis? Gonna do you one better than a first down. Gonna keep OT rolling with the touchdown. OT show far from over. Don't worry, we'll catch the first play of it. Just want to make sure the Mundayne show hasn't gotten out of hand. He's up to a 10-point lead, or somehow going to miss the end of his game somehow because of OT. He's halfway through the 4th quarter, up 24-14. His fellow Post University Eagles in a barn burner right now. 1st and 10, short completion. The football's knocked loose. Insanity. OT all but over. And now Adonis needs a stop. No ifs, ands, or buts. I believe a field goal would be GG's. Adonis got to come up with a stop here in this golden goal scenario following the fumble recovery for Sneezy. Get past the first down and more. 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. Knocking on the door of the top 4 is BigSneezy. Able to get past 1 or being brought down for a gain of 1. Defense still working magic for Adonis. Wouldn't be his first goal line stand. Instead, it'll be a touchdown for BigSneezy. That'll do it, ladies and gentlemen. The undefeated season continues for the BigSneezy. We're going to move on to the Final Four. Adonis, after an electric regular season, again, the highest point differential out of any competitor in ECAC College Football 25 this semester, going to be brought down by a fellow Post University Eagle, none other than the only undefeated player in the regular season and now in the postseason. BigSneezy gonna move on in a tight one. 2-1 for the BigSneezy, 34-28. Your final score here in Game 3. Huge GG's for Adonis. Again, he's had such an electric season, blowing folks out of the water in so many of his games. That'll be GG's for his season. Out at top 8. Mundayne looking to keep his postseason alive as well. Looking in prime position to do just that with 55 seconds left to play here. 3 timeouts left for the Mounties. We're not at victory formation, but we're pretty darn close, folks. Oh, unless the football's knocked loose. Possession wrangled by the Mounties at the last minute. We're saying there's a chance, ladies and gentlemen.
Expect him to take care of the football, especially in the situations. All we're trying to do is run.
Mounties have certainly made these fourth quarters interesting. Man 3 prevent for the Mounties here. Mundayne not going to let the one-play touchdown happen by any means necessary. Go underneath the defense if you got to. You are not scoring 6 on this coverage. Look like cover 4 drop, not a man 3 prevent. Yeah, the 4 deep zones. You got 4 defenders downfield. In that case, following the 4 verticals on first down. Looks like very similar shades on second down. Can't come up with anything. Bottled up for 3rd and 10. It looks like we're going to have more post-university mirror matches next week, folks, for top 4. Mundayne versus BigSneezy. Going to be a reminder. I believe these 2 players did face off in the regular season. I'm trying to find out what week here. Back in week 6 of the regular season they faced off was a banger. So certainly more of that on their way if Mundayne can punch his ticket here. Huge deep ball, but it's triple covered. Going to be knocked out for 4th down.
After that incompletion, 4th and long now on your own side of the field, you're trailing in the 4th quarter. What's your go-to play call here in the passing game? Where is the matchup that you trust?
Mounties have 3 timeouts. I'm amazed they haven't tried to throw underneath these 4 deep zones.
Down in the 4th quarter, it's too late for empty
Can't be too selfish with this down and distance the Mounties are working with. They need anything to go their way here. But instead, it may be a turnover on downs. Let's see what Mundayne's got on 4th and 10. Deep ball, and Mundayne bobbles it. That'll do it. Ladies and gentlemen, the early GGs waving the white flag. The Mounties out at top 8, and Mundayne moving on to top 4. Gonna have more post-university action next week, ladies and gentlemen. We have the bracket. I'm going to try to zoom in for you here as we approach the end of the show here tonight. We're just going to zoom it in here. Not exactly the most elegant, but Mundayne going to move on against the Mounties, and we're going to have BigSneezy versus Adonis, a regular season rematch. These 2 met in week 6 of the regular season. At the time, both players were undefeated. BigSneezy won in a nail-biter, 28-21 in game 1, 38-35 Mundayne in game 2, and 21-16 Sneezy in game 3. Was a banger in week 6. Certainly going to be a banger next week as well. Until then, I have been Sandwich. We hope y'all enjoyed tonight's coverage of ECAC College Football 25. Same time, same place next week for somehow more post-university on post-university battles. The path to the championship game. One post-university Eagle is going to make it. One of them going to move down to the 3rd place game. We will see y'all then.